Jeremy, I told you in the 10 I'm going to grab you a hammer and a chisel to get some of that ice off the table in the backyard.
You know what, Melissa, to leave, we both might need the hammer and chisel to get into our cars.
I was thinking that.
It's covered in a layer of ice. So, I mean, that's the case for pretty much everybody here in northeastern Pennsylvania. There is a layer of ice on tables in the backyard, on trees. Take a look at this. You can see how much ice has now coated the backyard bushes and trees, and if that coats a power line, that could also cause it to come down. So there is a possibility for some isolated power outages tonight as a result of the freezing rain that has accumulated. Now we're getting a reprieve. We're going to be dry now for the next 2 hours or so, but then another wave of moisture is on its way in, and some of that could be freezing rain too. Snow reports from across the area, as much as 3 inches up in Bradford County for Sayre. Honesdale and Wayne County picked up 2.5, Carbondale and northern Lackawanna County 2 inches, Jim Thorpe 1.9, and here in our backyard we picked up just a little bit less than everybody else, a ½ inch of snow. Then the freezing rain fell on top of it in Lehigh Valley International Airport, closing in on 0.3 of an inch of ice. That is definitely enough to make for slick driving and maybe even some isolated power outages down in Lehigh County. From Mount Pocono, nearly 1/4 of an inch of ice. That's a lot too to cause some problems. Avoca picked up just 0.06 inches of ice. So we're talking about 6/100ths of an inch of ice, and I'm slipping and sliding back here. So imagine 1/4 of an inch of ice in Mount Pocono. This is going to cause problems if you're traveling. Please, if you don't have to go out tonight into tomorrow morning, don't. It's just too treacherous. If you do, drive much slower than you normally would. It takes 8 times longer to stop with black ice on the roads than it does if there's no black ice on the roads. Selinsgrove picked up a trace in Williamsport 4/100ths. This one's from Ed in East Stroudsburg. Ed, you are a loyal viewer. Thank you so much for sending this one in. You can see on his bushes there in East Stroudsburg and Monroe County, there is a glaze of ice, and that's the way it is pretty much everywhere. You're going out to your car tomorrow morning. Could be some slick spots. Just take it a little bit slower than you normally would. Temperatures are starting to rise at the freezing mark for the Susquehanna Valley down through Pottsville and into Tower City, also for Auburn and Schuylkill County. But look at how we're still well into the 20s for the northern tier, where snow was continuing to fall up until about 30 minutes ago. There's a live view from Pottsville. We have just a few drops on the lens, but definitely accumulating ice there. Winter weather advisories in effect until 4 a.m. as that wintry mix could continue for parts of northern Lackawanna and Wayne counties. This is the current satellite and radar picture. We have that exiting freezing rain. Looks like it's starting to wrap up, but this is just a slight reprieve. Some still sleet, freezing rain falling in parts of Pike County, Monroe County, up through southern Wayne County too, and those flakes just exited Honesdale and Forest City, Pleasant Mount too. Here's the bigger picture. Notice how there is a lot more moisture to go. Down towards the south, this long band of really strong storms bringing a tornado risk to parts of the Tennessee Valley tonight. All of this moisture is going to migrate its way towards us. So this little clear reprieve that we have right now will not last long. Here is your winter weather timeline. Between now and 2 a.m., there's a brief lull in the precipitation. Then between 2 and 9, we got sleet and freezing rain once again for portions of Wayne, Lackawanna, Susquehanna, and Pike counties. Rain for everybody else. 9 to 12, it turns over to rain for everybody. Downpours possible. And then between 1 and 5, we'll have the actual front come through and bring us a risk for maybe some lightning and thunder, and winds will really start whipping. So here's future clouds and radar. There's the reprieve between 12 and 2. Then the moisture fills back in again. Some mix for freezing rain and sleet once again for the northern tier and down through the valley cities. Rain for Pottsville, Jim Thorpe, up through Monroe County too. Then towards sunrise, a little bit more of a reprieve. So it's on and off scattered showers, some downpours embedded within it. And then take a look at 12 to 3. There's the front. Some thunderstorms possible as they roll through, and this will all be in the form of rain. By this time, we're at 45 degrees, and finally we kick the whole system out by about 5 o'clock. Here's future icing. I think we can pick up another 1/10 of an inch of ice in Wayne County, but look at another model. This is the GFS. This sets off alarm bells. There could be more icing than that. This would be crippling tomorrow morning before it all goes away with all the rain that we're going to pick up, about 1 inch of rain across the whole area. We also have a high wind warning in effect for Carbon and Monroe counties, as those winds could really gust as we head into the day tomorrow and into the afternoon. Boy, wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So we issued another weather impact alert for Monday into Tuesday morning, because temperatures will only be topping out in the low 20s. And Melissa, those feels like temperatures down through the valley cities, -10, -15, feels like temperatures in Wayne County, negative 25 to negative 30. Bundle up the kiddos on Tuesday morning and be careful tomorrow with all the ice.
Yeah, that is unbelievable to think about those temperatures.
I know. At least it's wind chills, not actual thermometer readings.
True. Look on the bright side,
That's right,
Thanks so
optimism.
much.